Horror Talk. HORROR, horror, spooky talk. And this week, we're going to do horror comedies. We love horror comedies, and we want to talk about some of our favorites. Dwayne, do you want to throw your first one out?
Okay, so we're going to talk about horror comedies. There's some really well-known ones, like Tucker and Dale, What We Do in the Shadows. Ones we all like is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
I thought I'd go for a little more obscure-looking ones that people may not think about as horror comedy, but when you actually start talking about it, you're like, oh yeah, that was really good. So the first one I put out is Tales from the Crypt, Demon Night. Have you ever seen that?
Billy Zane, right?
Billy Zane.
Yes, I've seen it. I saw that back in 2019 on Halloween night, I believe. I don't remember much about it except like demons and angels and Billy Zane.
Yeah. It's
and they're holed up in like some kind of like sheriff's place, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a little restaurant slash hotel thing. You know, a little bread and breakfast thing way back then. But I went to see it in theaters when it came out. I had a lot of friends who, like me and Sean, love horror, and we would go see every time a new horror movie would come out. We'd try to go see it. So we went to see Demon Night. It's Tales from the Crypt, so there's some comedy in there. It's got some really good scenes. Billy Zane is a bad guy, but like Mick Taylor, you kind of like him a lot in this movie. He's got on like a cowboy suit, like he's a cowboy. Then he gets mad. He starts saying, "Oh, I'm not tired of this podunk, stuff like that." Start dancing around. He's like a head demon, and he's like some of these other demons to come get this guy, William Sadler, who was playing Death in a lot of the Tales from the Crypt episodes. He's in it, and there's a lot of people in this movie. You got them and a couple others. But the funny parts of this movie is a lot of the times that people are getting killed, there's always somebody making some funny little jokes, funny little clip. He meets this girl that he's she has like the last of this potion that he's supposed to get, and he actually likes her, and he's like, he can't say love. He's like, do you love me back and stuff. It's just, there's a lot of comedy in this movie, and I just enjoyed it a lot, and that was my first pick.
Okay, I don't remember that movie being that funny when I saw it, but maybe I need to rewatch it. My first pick is a movie you already brought up, and one of my favorite movies is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I love this film so fucking much. It's just, it's like Hills Have Eyes with a twist. They're not really trying to hurt you. They're just trying to fucking go to their vacation home. Oh my god, just such a fun film. I've seen it probably 6 fucking times. I have a blast with it every time. I love the main character. I loved him in a show called Reaper. I don't know if you've ever seen the show. It's him and his buddies. They his friend, which is the main character on that show, he finds out he's the son of the devil, and his dad, played by Ray Wise, it has him hunt down demons. So the three of him and his buddies go hunt down some demons. It's just a really fucking fun show. Didn't really end well. It kind of ended on a cliffhanger, but the show was fun, and I saw him there, and I loved him. He was my favorite character on the show. And then, so when this movie came out, I was like, oh, it's my boy from Reaper. Watched it with my dad. We got it from Netflix back when they had sent you DVDs, and we fell in love with it, and it's been in my rotation ever since. All right, Dwayne, your second pick.
My second pick is going to be Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
So what it is Abbott and Costello were these old vaudeville comedians. They were really famous for doing the Who's on First skit about baseball. Who's on first? I don't know who's on second. What's his name's on third? That kind of thing. It's a funny movie. It's the first Monster Mash movie. It's the first one, even though it says it meets Frankenstein. The Wolfman's in there. Dracula's in there. And at the end, the Invisible Man shows up. And it's already a comedy because they're known for being comedians. But there's parts where they're in a wax museum and Frankenstein looks and they try to pretend like they're wax statues. and he sees the little guy Costello, and Frankenstein looks, and he like jumps back in horror what the guy looks like. She's thinking Frankenstein, who's all tore up and everything, is scared of what Costello looks like.
Yeah.
There's funny parts. There's a lot of little slapstick parts in there. There's parts where they do they get the identities of people mixed up, and it makes it a lot of funny. So an old black and white classic would be Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Was it better than Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet Frankenstein?
I'm sure it was.
Okay. Alright, so my second pick, and the first two are two very popular films. The last two aren't. But my second pick, I am going to go with probably my favorite. Is a very popular film called Shaun of the Dead. This one's probably like a 70-30 split between horror and comedy, probably like 70 horror, maybe, and then 30 comedy, maybe a little bit more, maybe 60-40. But this movie is just great. I just love this film. I've seen this film maybe 20 times. I loved it. I remember we rented it on DVD when it came out, and that is what kicked off my horror, not my horror kick, but my zombie kick. I think that was the first one I really got into was zombies. Either that or the Dawn of the Dead, which I saw in theaters, the remake. But this one is like the first one I absolutely loved. This movie is hilarious. It holds up so well today. I absolutely love Shaun of the Dead.
Alright, so my next pick is one we talked about a little while ago. When we talked about, in this episode, we talked about the horror collectibles. I had my Ash Toony Terrors, is Army of Darkness. This is another movie I saw when it first came out. I think it was the first movie I saw when I got back to the States back in '93. And it's just straight up, it's based off of the Evil Dead 1 and 2, which were mostly horror movies, but this one, Evil Dead 2, had some comedy elements in it. This one is straight up comedy with a little bit of horror in there. It's about Ash. He goes back in time to the medieval times, and he knows all what he needs to know, and he's got to fight all these deadites, all this Army of Darkness, skeletons, witches, all kinds of good things.
This one uses a lot of claymation, doesn't it?
It does, and there's a lot of just props, but it's another one where it's just really funny. He calls the shotgun his boomstick. He calls the people primitives. He talks about compounds. He says, y'all's primitives might know anything about compounds and elements and stuff. And the way he talks to the people is just really funny. It's just a straight up comedy, and I really love this movie a lot.
Alright. So I did my first two. I did kind of, more popular films. The last two, you probably haven't heard of. If you have, you're a cool cat. My third pick is one, it's stupid, but I love it. It's a little movie called Stan Helsing. I fucking love this movie. It has the dude, I think he was in Reba as a star, Kenan Thompson from Saturday Night Live, and I don't know really. Oh, and Leslie Nielsen is in it, the fucking airplane guy who's hilarious. And if you've seen Airplane and you like it, this is basically Airplane does horror movies. It is just so much fucking fun. It's Kenan Thompson and the dude from Reba and two, hot chicks. They go on a road trip to drop off this DVD at this suburb. And when they get there, turns out this is like an old, kind of like an old Universal film studio that burnt down, and like spooky shit goes on, and they meet like parody versions of Pinhead, Michael Myers, Jason, Chucky. They do parodies of Jeepers Creepers. It's just like a slasher parody, like Airplane style. This movie is just so much fucking fun. I wouldn't mind going back to rewatching it again. I just fucking love this film. One day, we're going to do a horror comedy episode, and I bet you want to pick some of these fuckers out, because we love talking about them. Dwayne, you've seen this film too, right?
Stan Helsing, yeah. I saw it by accident. I was like, accident? I was like, what is this? And I flipped it. What is Stan Helsing? And I started reading about it, and I started watching it, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. That's a good, funny movie. Then I saw like Leslie Nielsen. I was like, oh my god, Leslie Nielsen's in this.
This was like
so yeah,
pretty. This came out a little bit, not long before he died.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but like he plays a waitress, don't he? He plays a female waitress. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. This movie, this is just dumb fun, which I love. Dwayne, your final pick.
Alright, so my final pick, I'm cheating. It's a 2-part movie. I'm a huge Vincent Price fan. Vincent Price is known for his gothic style, but in the early 70s, he did a 2-parter called Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again.
Well, I believe you talked about this recently.
Oh yeah, this is 2 of my favorites. He's a surgeon who's also a musician, and his wife gets killed in a car wreck, and he gets mad and he blames the doctors because he could have done the surgery but they didn't do it, and his wife died, so he takes revenge on them, and he sets up different ways like from the Bible. So he goes to kill these doctors based on the 10 plagues from the Bible. Like he lets rats in somebody's airplane. He has locusts kill a nurse. But it's just all like tongue-in-cheek done. Like he'll look at the camera and smile. They'll kill somebody and he'll just go like this if something goes bad on there and stuff. So it's more of a horror, but it has comedy elements to it. The second one is a little more not vicious, but it's a little more played for comedy. He's deformed where he was in a car wreck, and his face will be like by mummies because they're in Egypt in the second one, and his face will be there by all these decayed mummies, and everybody just walks by, and then all of a sudden he'll open his eyes and start moving and stuff, and it's just the way he does things. Like he makes a sausage maker. He turns people into sausage.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, it's funny. He starts he has like these big fans going. He puts sand up, so it makes it look like it's a sandstorm. So everybody hides, and then he's actually out killing people and stuff. So my final pick for horror comedies is Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again.
Pretty cool. My final pick is, we talked about it earlier on movies we've seen recently. I just saw this movie a few months ago, maybe like a month and a half ago. I fell in love with this movie. Not only because my name is in the credits of this film. See, this movie was made by a YouTuber who I like, and he did a Kickstarter, and I put $200 in this fucking film. That's right, I help out independent filmmakers, so my name's in the fucking credits, which is pretty cool. You do have to pause it to fucking see it, but I like it. And then on top of it, the movie was fucking hilarious. This movie is called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. If you've never seen this guy's YouTube channel's like Bowser Vids. I think his name's Andrew Bowser. He does a character called Onyx, who's basically like a hipster goth kid, and this movie's hilarious, especially if you've seen his YouTube videos where he plays Onyx, and the character's so popular he got the movie made for the character. Basically kind of like, how SNL, some of their popular characters got their own spin-off movies. It's kind of the same thing, and I was really nervous, I was like, anyway, put money in this movie because I believed in it, and I was so happy the way it turned out. It's almost, the way he wrote it, I was like, this is how Sean Dills would make a fucking film. Just the humor is like right up my fucking alley. It's just fucking hilarious. Dwayne, don't look up a trailer because we're gonna watch it one day in the near future after the tournament's over. And I'm really excited about it. I just loved the movie that much, and I just died. You should check this movie out. You can find it on digital. I think you can even get it on DVD and Blu-ray. I think even some Kickstarters. I didn't really get it, but I know some versions you can get like a green VHS. He had some VHS tapes of it made, which is pretty cool. But this movie, if you guys haven't checked it out, really check this movie out. It's just so much fucking fun. And then that's our 4 picks. Dwayne, have you seen all these?
Except for the last one.
Have you seen them all?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen most of yours.
Like I said, I picked some more obscure ones. I've seen Tucker and Dale. I watch it constantly. Shaun the Dead, I watch a lot. I've seen Stan Helsing a couple times, but that last one I've never heard of.
Well, we'll watch it soon, right here on The Monster Dome. Stay tuned, and then on the next episode, we'll have a brand new horror topic we'll be talking about.